Welcome and thank you for joining us. I'm Jennifer Brodigan. My website is reikitheholygift.com. Email is jennifer@reikitheholygift.com. Today is March 11th, 2025. You're joining us for our monthly Reiki share, followed by a Holy Fire 3 Reiki healing experience, which I will explain when we get to that. We meet every month on the second Tuesday of the month from 6:50 to 8 p.m. Pacific Time. I am a licensed Reiki Master Teacher with the International Center for Reiki Training. Our topic for this evening is perceiving divine guidance. Before we get going, I'd like to have us all just quiet our minds a little bit, kind of settle. We've been having, before we started recording, we were chit-chatting and just kind of catching up with each other, and everybody's had a busy day. So let's take a few minutes just to close our eyes, turning our awareness within ourselves, allowing ourselves to feel ourselves breathe. Allowing each cycle of breath to calm you more and detach you from all of the activities of the day. Feeling balanced and grounded. Joyful. Grateful for the gift of Reiki. And I thank all of the illumined ones, the ascended masters, the angels, all of whom help, assist in so many ways to facilitate the energy that we call Reiki, and who will assist us this evening and onward in perceiving divine guidance in our lives. Now open your eyes. Do any of you have any recent experiences with perceiving or receiving divine guidance? Divine guidance comes in many forms. If any of you have any experiences that you would like to share, you're welcome to do so. Sometimes divine guidance comes in dreams, but there's many other ways that divine guidance is provided to us. More ways than I know of, and very unique for each person. We all perceive in different ways. I can give you examples from personal experience, and if you have personal experience, please share, and we'll build off that in conversation.
I have something I can share.
Thank you.
So a week ago, I went to Costa Rica, and I did a 7-day retreat. It was a 4-day ceremonial ayahuasca medicine healing thing. And without going into a lot of detail, I mean, I'm sure we're all familiar with the ayahuasca and what that entails. And for the 4-day ceremony, it's sort of a progression. And while you can go in with your intentions, it seems like all of these shamans kind of had these 3 intentions that they shared that, so the first intention is, show me who I've become. The second intention is, merge me back with my soul at all costs. And the third intention is heal my heart. And of course, each night brings a completely different flavor. And the whole ayahuasca experience it's brutal but beautiful all at the same time. It's definitely not for the faint of heart, but I would recommend everybody go through it at least once for the experience of it. But yeah, my I guess the divine guidance that really was profound, and for me, it's just kind of my nature. I don't dwell on things. Maybe I should think about things more, but I just let things settle. I just let things become. I like to just embody the feeling rather than trying to analyze what it all means. But for me, when it really showed me who I've become, it was more a sense of who it was showing me who I used to be. It was showing me, I mean, to the point to where the whole ayahuasca experience with the shamans, the way that they communicate, the way that their prayers, which were chants, every sound, every nuance was so extremely familiar to me. It was as if I had been through that whole thing, almost minute by minute. I mean, the entire experience, which um, each experience is like 8 hours, but it feels like weeks. It's, I mean, 8 hours is a long time, but when you go through that experience, the ceremony, it literally feels it's never ending. You feel like you're in it for days. Um, and so for me, it really showed me, it was showing me who I used to be, which in essence um, is who I've become, but not who I was at that moment. It's really hard to explain. It's showing me who I will become. It's basically was telling me who you become isn't really important. It's who are you? Who are you really? What is the essence of you? And to take me back to a place to, yeah, a reminder, and maybe even before this lifetime, it's hard to say, but that the divine guidance was really to let everything, that it's okay to let everything go. It's okay. Um, Whatever, just settle in and don't be gentle. I guess that was another big takeaway. Just, be gentle. There's nothing worth, um, trying to force things. Just be gentle. And especially, when you're going through that whole process anyway, it's the whole process is about being gentle. It's about relaxing. It's about breathing. As a matter of fact, breath,
Mm-hmm.
it's hard to even get through an experience like that if you don't control your breathing. Because if it gets away from you, the experience can be brutal times a gazillion.
That
Yeah,
that was an amazing experience for you.
yeah.
Some of the things that I would like to talk about in regards to being able to perceive divine guidance are some of the different ways that we can help grow our awareness and expand our capability to perceive divine guidance throughout our walking everyday life.
So Jennifer, I'll share one very quick one,
Okay.
and it's how I
Uh-huh.
got this phone call. We were looking at different ways about, sharing Reiki and what white light energetics is doing. Jim stumbles on a site, is sharing one single piece about it. I'm doing research for a completely different reason that same night. And I called you the next day because it was quite literally a magnetic pull to your website in my sphere twice within a 24-hour period to continue my Reiki journey and to build a community around it. It was undeniable. I couldn't get rid of it.
And you acted on that. Oftentimes, people can receive divine guidance, and then that left brain talks them out of acting or believing. So, some of the things that, so there are many different ways that you can perceive divine guidance. Like I said, sometimes it's in a dream, sometimes it is simply a knowing. For me, that knowing, for some reason, feels like in the back of my head. Notice where your intuition talks to you. Does it talk to you in your heart or your belly? Where is that sensation, the physical sensation? Some of the things that have occurred for me over the years that has taught me how to be more receptive to divine guidance and to accept it it's been a journey that started before I knew about Reiki. And I've been working with Reiki since January of 2013. And starting to work with Reiki just opens up a whole nother way of being able to sense, perceive, and receive divine guidance. Being aware of energetic, angelic beings who are around us. It began for me with crows. Crows, now that I moved to Idaho, crows haven't found me. There's just been a few. And by the way, crows have a different dialect by region. But in the Willamette Valley, boy, crows talk to me all the time. There was a flock that would appear when I was doing Reiki sessions, and they would take turns flying back by the window during Reiki sessions. During class times, they would be perched outside. And so crow magic is something that I pay attention to. When I hear a crow, I know I'm to pay attention. Birds are messengers from the heavens. So an exercise to help open up that awareness to those energies are when you're out for a walk. And I encourage you to go and be outside every day, as much time as you can, and notice the sounds of the birds. Right now, I am learning new voices of the birds. Robins have been really prevalent. I have never seen so many robins before. And doves have just appeared. And they do their cooing like the doves in Oregon, but they have a different voice as they fly. Doves have shown themselves to me during a really profound time in my life, but that's another story for a different time. But so very, very often, if I'm not paying attention to what's around me, a crow or a hawk feather will just float down. I won't even be aware that there's a bird around, and it'll literally float right in front of me. And then I know to pay attention, or if I had already in my morning meditation and self-Reiki, if I had been asking for guidance in a certain direction, and that I went on with my business, and I'm out walking my dog Kootenai, I was missing something. I wasn't paying attention. And so a feather floats down. I collect all those feathers. I have a box of feathers. I couldn't tell you which each one was given to me for, but it's a signal for me to pay more attention. Just being aware. Go out and be outside and listen in the morning and the evening for the choir of birds, those messengers from the heavens, so that you can become more aware of the music that's around you, that energy that's around you. It's only one little piece, but it's an exercise. And over time, you'll notice that you can turn on your awareness to things and energies around you more quickly when you practice a simple little exercise such as going for a walk, especially in the woods, but even if it's in your neighborhood or a park, and listening to the different voices of the birds. And if there's traffic noise, learning to turn down the volume of the traffic noise and turning up the volume of the voices of the birds. Sometimes during Reiki, self-Reiki and meditation in the morning, I will get images that answer questions, but more often during those times, they are an image that is more about, and put it aside for clarity later. For some reason, divine guidance talks to me more clearly when I'm outside. And again, I'll say you will perceive it differently because we are all wired differently. And getting out of the chat mind, and not only during self-Reiki and meditation and prayer time, but during times of doing those mundane tasks of unloading the dishwasher or folding clothes. Just paying attention to not what you're thinking about, what needs to be done, but focusing in the moment on the act of what you are doing. Looking at, as you're putting away the dishes, how light and color reflect off of them. That helped me in my journey of being more attuned and aware to those messages. We all want that crystal ball. We want the easy answer. We want that remote control to fast forward to the answers. But if we had that ability, we would miss out on the growth of the journey, which builds a solid foundation in our spiritual life. Do any of you have any questions about what I've talked about so far, or anything you'd like to comment on?
This is Margaret Mary. I really appreciate what you are sharing because I can hear it at a whole nother level. I live in a teeny tiny cabin in the woods overlooking the lake, a lake about a block from the ocean. And I was gobsmacked this afternoon after I finished with my last, so I'm also an animal Reiki master. And I was kind of gobsmacked. I needed my head cleared, so I walked up to the beach. And just in that walk, the amount of orioles that were there had me, go, huh. And I don't walk around with things in my ears. I just like you said, I really want to experience it. And Orioles, that many Orioles and Orioles alone here are quite rare. And they were just sitting on top of the buildings, kind of like those huge flocks of starlings that you can see from time to time. And I was just like, all right, what does this mean? What am I supposed to be paying attention to? And I've been going flat out, so I haven't gotten into my book to see, what an Oriole represents. And I was just giggling inward a little bit when you shared about the crows. And I really get everything that you said, because here on the peninsula, there are a lot of crows. And the weekend I became a medical Reiki master, a raven came and sat on the railing of my back deck, and people, no, there aren't any ravens here. There are no ravens here. Those were crows. And I did the research and I listened to the vocalizations, and I looked at the pictures that I took of what was a raven, and the raven hung around for the entire weekend. It was like 3 days and an evening for the medical Reiki master. And I'm really clear the difference between a raven and a crow.
Big difference.
Huge. You
Not
know,
only in size,
once
but in their voice.
exactly. And the voice is what had me go, you don't sound like you ain't from around here, is you? And it's like, yeah, no, I'm a raven. I'm not a crow. And I was just like, I got it. But I don't always receive a lot of notification that I'm going to be performing medical Reiki or being in surgery or anything like that. And a raven will show up. And, it's like, well, I don't have that on my schedule. And the message comes through, well, now you do. And within a really short period of time, I do receive a notification that I have to be in surgery or in a treatment room of some sort, working with somebody and providing them. And oh, the irony that I am here listening and receiving everything that you're providing, and that the clarity, I am profoundly, truly, sincerely, and deeply grateful for this. How exquisite and divinely ordered.
So
Really,
glad you're here.
I am too. I am.
And that's such a great story, because now you know when that raven shows up, start packing your gear. Get ready to go. Tara, what would you like to say?
I don't know if you remember this, but right after my first Reiki 1 and 2, you loaned me a book and you needed to get it back. And we met in the Winco parking
Yep.
lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, while I was waiting for you, I saw this hawk as clear as day. And you said, oh my gosh, I forgot the hawk feathers for the drum circle. Remember, you were on your way to Washington? Yeah.
Yep.
That just reminded me of that.
Okay, so for those of you who are live with me, are you okay if we go past 8 o'clock tonight? We did have a lot of lovely conversation before I started recording. Okay, I thought so, but I like to respect people's time. Another exercise that you can just incorporate in your everyday life to help you just be more attuned to energies around you is, well, for me, I don't know how to do this anywhere other than outside, because that's where it happens for me. But being outside and paying attention to the way plants and trees grow, the symmetry of roots in a parking strip as you're walking by, and noticing the formation of branches of trees, and then the way they branch off to leaves. This time of year, as everything is starting to bud out, you'll really be able to see and notice the changes, but look at the rhythm of it. Look at just the balance, the texture, all of the little seeds that are still remaining on trees and bushes for the birds to be feeding on until the new life comes. Paying attention to that, just amazing, amazing gift of Mother Nature. When you hear children playing, be grateful for being able to hear that lovely sound. Noticing things and then being grateful for the ability to see that bird that flew by. I've got 2 geese that fly over about 6 o'clock every morning. If I'm not outside, I can hear them honking, and it's getting to where I can kind of tell time by them now. But that's part of the rhythm of the environment around me. If I'm outside, I hear birds' wings. I'm always saying a prayer of thank you that I could hear their wings. I want to keep my hearing going, as I get older. And I want to be grateful for that gift of the ability to hear. The little thing of birds flapping their wings. And so look for things in your everyday existence that you can pay a little more attention to. Get out of the blah, 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 blah in the head, the checking the phone constantly. That is shutting down people's ability to notice what's around them and noticing the people around them. I'm now living in an environment that is so different than where I recently moved from, which was Willamette Valley of Oregon, where here you don't pass somebody on the sidewalk without saying hello, good morning, good afternoon. That's just a rude thing to not acknowledge another human being. And it feels so good. And very frequently that ends up in a stopping and just idle conversation, which is good in that practice of being a human being rather than a human doing, because it's so easy to get wrapped up in the gotta, woulda, shoulda, hurry up, get it done. And so I think those are enough pieces of little exercises for you to work on if you're interested in being able to perceive divine guidance in your life. And unless anybody has anything that they would like to add, I will get us prepared for our healing experience. Okay, I think everybody's good. So for those who have not participated in a Holy Fire 3 healing experience, and for those who are watching this via the recording, who have not participated before, our topic tonight for conversation and for the healing experience is perceiving divine guidance. And the way the Holy Fire healing experiences are facilitated is similar to a guided meditation in the beginning, where I will verbally guide you to a energetically spiritual location, and then I will be silent for about 10 minutes or so, and then I will, while I'm silent, each one of you will have your own unique healing experience, and then I will guide you back. If you who are with us live, if you want to stay in that lovely state of bliss, you're welcome to do so. You don't have to come back to your screen. If you do want to come back, just quietly wave goodbye and good night as I bring our gathering to a close. So those who are live who want to stay in the bliss, they can just stay there and I'll close out the meeting. So as I get our music ready, I would like to have all of you participating who are live to mute your audio and video and get yourself in a nice, comfy, reclined position. Begin by taking nice, slow breaths. Allowing each cycle of breath to relax you more deeply and connect you with your higher self. When thoughts arise, and they frequently do, it's okay. Just notice the thought, and then bring yourself back to feeling yourself breathe. And it doesn't matter how many times you notice yourself thinking. It's a great gift to bring yourself back to your higher self. over and over again. Feeling your breath move throughout your entire physical body. Feeling the muscles and connective tissues that move on every breath. Filling your body with oxygen. Relaxing your muscles. Slowing the rhythm of your heart. Please take a very long, slow, intentional breath. And as you exhale, feel yourself being transported to a beautiful forest on a warm summer day. Feel yourself walking along the path in this beautiful forest. The path is covered with a lush, thick, cool green moss. You are barefoot, and each step is cushioned by the cool softness of this luscious green moss. Taking your time to slowly move up the forest path. Feeling, imagining, and seeing yourself in this beautiful, magical forest where all is pure energy. Noticing the shapes, the textures, the colors, breathing in the aromas of the forest. Aromatherapy for your soul. You feel so light you barely touch the path anymore. Floating above it, you move up through the forest, taking time to listen to the birds who sing a song of welcome from the treetops. Noticing how the sunlight shines through the tree branches, and where it lands, it illuminates, lights the colors and shapes, casting rich, beautiful dark shadows of purples and blues and reds and browns. Higher and higher, up through the forest you move. You feel yourself going up into higher levels of consciousness, higher levels of the heavens. More aware of your authentic self and your spirit, which is an aspect of the divine. The light catches your eye and you look up the forest path and you see more light, and you sense that you are coming to an opening. You step out of the forest, and there before you is a small clearing among the trees. You step out of the forest, feel the warm sunshine shine upon you. And in the center of this clearing is a beautiful chair. This chair has been created for you and your enjoyment and comfort. As you make your way over to the chair in the center of the clearing, choose the color or colors that you would like your chair to be. As you settle into the chair, you feel how perfectly crafted it has been for you. Just the right size, shape, comfort, cushion, firmness, perfect for your needs. It moves as you need it to move or you want it to move, with no effort on your part other than to request. You can recline further. You can turn this chair so that you can have a 365-degree view of this clearing in the middle of the forest that's been created for you and your healing. If you have been turning in your chair, find the location that you would like to stop at and lay back, gazing up into the sky. Not a care in the world, not a thought on the mind. Open and receptive for what is to come, with a willingness to heal, to grow, to be given new insights. The highest heavens open. A great beam of light shines down upon you. This divine light of white and gold flows into you and all around you. While my voice goes silent, allow the light to guide you. And assist you in perceiving divine guidance in your life. Follow the light. you would like to continue with your healing experience, you are welcome to do so. Or if you feel that you are complete, you can turn back on your video and wave goodnight. Before I conclude our time together, I'd like to thank all of the Ascended Masters, the Illumined Ones, and all of those from the angelic realms who are always with us, waiting for us to hear them, see them, feel them, receive them. I thank them all for everything they do for us, whether we are aware or not. And I thank each one of you for all of the good things that you bring into the world around us. So may it be. Namaste.